Hey, you numbskulls, give your old papa a good night kiss.
No! I have to sleep. Go get one for Zoya and Igor. They love you more anyway.
Here I come, Papa.
Me too.
Aww. Oh, yay. Now it's time for bed.
Okay.
Hey, you guys be sleeping by now. What are you guys doing?
But we can't, Papa. No cat for real.
How about I'll read you a bedtime story?
But we've already read everything in the room.
Why don't you tell us the story of when you were a child? We never knew how you got to America.
That's a really long story. I'm not sure we have enough time to even talk about that.
Please.
Alright, shut up. I'll read it.
Yay.
My tale begins when the world was as peaceful as it was now. In my time, wars and starvation were common. Back in the Soviet Union, where I came from, it was ruled by powerful czars, rulers who came from a long lineage of royal blood. They ruled Soviet Union for many centuries. However, the royal blood soon became their own downfall. Their incompetence caused by many lower-class peasants to starve to death, and the economy was plummeting.
Wow.
This sparked the formation of many new revolt groups. One of them held a man who was going to rule Russia for quite a while, a man who the entire country looked up to as their savior for the time. His name was Vladimir Ilyich Ulyanov, better known as Vladimir Lenin. At first, being a farmer, I was very interested in the ideas that Lenin was preaching, because I didn't have any money at all, but I wanted land. However, every good thing must come to an end. From then on, everything changed.
What do you mean, Papa? Everything changed? You just said you loved Mr. Lenin's ideas.
We all loved him. At least we thought we did. Let me explain. I can remember it like it was yesterday. It was a fine early morning, just like a regular day. I woke up to the faint chirping of birds, golden rays of sunshine, dewdrops over the green grass. My morning was quickly disturbed by the sudden marching of footsteps onto our fields. It sounded like cannons were being fired. Confused, all the farmers peeked outside to see a giant red flag stamped with the Communist Party's logo waving through the air. We soon realized that Vladimir Lenin paid us a visit, the premier of the Soviet Union.
Hey! That's mine!
No, that's mine!
I didn't feel that family!
Prepare my loyal companions. I've arrived on your farms to personally deliver a special message regarding my new plans to our beloved Soviet Union. Peace, land, and bread.
Peace, land, and bread?
You desire each one of these aspects, and I promise that I will deliver them to you. All I ask in exchange is your continued loyal support towards the Communist Party. Elect me as leader of the Communist Party through this October Revolution. The Dumas are utterly powerless and cannot rule this country. A fair warning to all those provisional government supporters. You are all supporting straight garbage. They truly believe that they can continue to take advantage of your economic status and prosper themselves by relishing the benefits of capitalism. Hereby, I shall propose my intricate plan to overthrow these rich bourgeoisie capitalists.
Oh, this Lenin dude sounds really dope. I wish I lived in the Soviet Union with you, Papa.
Unfortunately, Lenin's health began to diminish extremely quickly. The assassination attempt in the summer of 1918 changed him for the rest of his life. It felt like there was no coming back to the original Lenin.
Assassination attempt? Why would someone try to kill him?
Well, even though I liked him, there was a great majority of the population that did not think of him as highly, especially when it came to the controversy of the NEP. Everyone believed that it was his health that was clouding his judgment and made him focus on recovering and avoiding the political manner.
What was the NEP? Is that like a weird acronym?
The NEP was Lenin's economic plan that was an adaptation from his original war communism plan in order to give the Soviet Union a stable footing for its economy. It was more of a capitalist idea, but it was the only way to get the economy out of chaos, at least in his eyes, before it could be truly communist. Trotsky, a new Bolshevik, believed the NEP was a complete fluke to the Soviet Union's goal of becoming and developing into a socialist state.
The NEP is an extremely weak economic plan if we want to establish the most supreme socialist state in the entire world. It heavily favors the farmers of our state. We need the industry to bleed through the community. Without industry, we will lack the technology that we need in order to become a powerful state, and absolutely no one will respect or fear for us.
What are you thinking? What are you even saying? The current state of our economy is in shambles, and we need to have a plan that our people can rely on and believe in. We must take one step back into capitalism in order to achieve our goals of becoming socialist and eventually the supremacy of communism. I need to garner the support of our agricultural workers. It is the only way that we can get out of this dilemma alive.
Wait a second, Papa.
Alexei, stop interrupting me.
I'm sorry, Papa. This is way too much for me and my walnut-sized brain.
Well, let's keep going. During the Bolshevik Revolution, Lenin was so influential and powerful enough to convince us farmers in the entire country because of the key person who was puppeteering his way to power from the shadows of the spotlight. His name was Joseph Stalin, the man of steel.
Oh, who is that?
Well, like what his name just suggests, nothing ever fazed the man, and he was always thinking about the big picture for the country. Let's dive in again. After Lenin's unfortunate stroke in 1923, Lenin seemed incapable of running the Politburo, and Stalin used this event in a way to have an opportunity to assert his influence. Lenin was concerned about Stalin's leadership role as the Commissar for Nationalities, but couldn't do anything about it because of all the health concerns piling up on him. As morbid as it may sound, Stalin used Lenin's death as a way to make the public perceive him as the next successor. It began with a Stalin speech at Lenin's funeral. Stalin was very power hungry and would do anything in order to lead the Soviet Union. He knew in order to be considered as the next successor, all other forms of competition needed to be terminated completely. First, it was with Trotsky.
Trotsky, my brother. The date of Lenin's funeral will be on Sunday. It is imperative that we stay strong, for the Soviet Union is in our hands. We must lead the people as the great Lenin was doing at his time.
Thank you, Stalin. Yes, you are completely correct. I will be prepared to say some words for Lenin, as he was a man I respected and debated amongst many times.
Stalin had told him the wrong date on purpose, in order for him to look bad in front of the Soviet people.
On this beautiful Saturday morning, it is my absolute pleasure to speak about the great Lenin and the things that he has done for our great Soviet Union. And with that being said, I will begin with what I call the Lenin enrollment. I encourage as many people as possible to join the Communist Party in respect for our once great leader. Hurrah, hurrah!
Stalin was beginning to change the structure of the party from a small group of leaders to a large mass of supporters. This would allow the community to come through the ranks, and Stalin would overlook all aspects of it. He gave the community a voice, a reason to be active, as if he cared about the people. But his persuasion and propaganda helped him receive the support he needed to gain ultimate control of the Soviet Union. Even with all this occurring, Trotsky was still considered more fit than Stalin as Lenin's successor. He was a brilliant strategist in the October Revolution, led the army during the Civil War. He was considered valiant, but by being behind Lenin, Stalin was able to keep the ideologies the same, and Trotsky's idea to banish the NEP ruled him out of the race as a potential leader for the party completely. Then, there were Zinoviev and Kamenev.
I'm glad we have formed this troika between me, you, and Kamenev. Once Trotsky is out of the way, we will lead the Soviet Union as it should be.
First, we have to get rid of the god-awful NEP. Since both of us are from Leningrad and Moscow, industrial workers need our support and will be the ultimate reason why we will become the most powerful in the entire world. And you know what? I believe we should remove your policy, Stalin, of socialism in one country, because it doesn't effectively incorporate all the people of the Soviet Union. Bad mistake. The party was quickly filling up with supporters of Stalin, and because of such rash suggestions made by Kamenev, he was immediately being voted off of the Politburo. This disbanded the so-called Troika that they had established. Finally, there was Bukharin of the right opposition. In 1927, Stalin completely changed his viewpoint on the NEP and decided that it was needed to be criticized in order to prevent the war scare that allowed us farmers to build up food and raise the prices in which we sold them.
Stalin, it seems you are not fully understanding the NEP. It is still good, as we once believed it was. It is allowing farmers to have an incentive to produce more.
Strike 3, you're out. Stalin started a new policy of grain requisitioning, and Bukharin was rightly voted off of the Politburo in 1929.
How was Stalin even able to do all that? How did he have all this power?
With Stalin's charismatic persuasion techniques and giving the people what they wanted, it allowed for people to believe in him and have trust in him during a time of political distress. With his clever use of propaganda, he was able to present things to the Soviet people that they wanted to hear and became the most powerful within the state. Stalin was a man on a mission, and his mission would not be achieved unless he had all the power within the Soviet state. And that scary combination came very soon. And because all this happened, I had to leave the Soviet Union. The life was very hard and we had very little to eat. Believe it or not, items such as borscht that was so simple were a delicacy to meet. Stalin's rule was very inconsistent for us farmers, and there was no way that we could stay alive and thrive. Our margins were very low for the food, and we had to sell them at a significant amount that was a lot lower than what we wanted to.
But then, how did you not have enough to eat, Papa Luca?
Yeah, weren't you guys farmers? Couldn't you just eat what you grew?
It's a lot more difficult than that in the Soviet Union. That is why I took your grandma, your dad, and your aunt to the United States. We needed a way to live, and a way in order to be successful for our family. My father was a farmer, and that's why I became a farmer. But I knew farming would not get us far in the life. And education was needed for your father and your aunt. I wanted them to succeed.
Wow, Papa, that's amazing. You sacrificed everything for your children, and you allowed us to live a better life too. That's why we're here sitting in front of you today. I love you, Papa. I love you so much.
Me too.
You're my hero.
Thank you, Alexi, but I'm not the hero. I want to do it for my family because it was all that I had left in my culture. Now, enough of this lovey-dovey stuff. It's way too late for you guys to be up. Don't tell your dad about this, or he'll have a fit. Have a good night, numbskulls.
Good night, Papa.